Namaste everyone. This is going to be a Kundalini yogic set for the fall equinox that's happening tomorrow, September 3rd, 2019. So we're going to focus on the breath of fire. The breath of fire is very much like a furnace. Okay, we all have an internal furnace. It's right here at the navel. Okay, and that furnace is our way of shedding old layers of the self. Okay, so we as humans experience immense growth, right? From age 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, we experience immense growth. Constantly, our identity, our self-concept is being reinvented. Constantly, we are being moved and shaped by the universe, by, you could say, astrology, cosmology, this great big geometric web of energy that we're connected to, that's constantly revolving and that's constantly moving at a quite rapid speed. Okay, and we are a part of that. We are right in the center of that. So what that means is, with growth, okay, if you want expedited growth within your creativity, within your emotional healing, within your consciousness, okay, your intuition, your vision, your clarity, what it is to be visionary, well then expect that you're gonna have to, you're gonna be shedding a lot. So when we sweat, I see sweat, kind of like the furnace. When you're in the furnace, you're sweating, right? Sweating is a process of detoxifying. So a lot of times we go in the sauna and we sweat it out because it's a form of us detoxifying the dead energy that we may be harboring within our cells, within our tissues, within our blood, within our muscles. We also may be holding on to energetic debris within our nervous system, okay, within the energetics of ourself, okay? And dead energy is very cumulative energy. So think of accumulation, it can very much be equivalent to stagnation. So when we have stagnation, especially in our body, what happens is that the chi, okay, everything's chi, the blood has chi, okay, oxygenated, I'm saying that word right, chi, okay, everything has oxygenated chi, okay, life energy that's just constantly moving. But when we have a big, like accumulation of dead energy or dead cells, it creates a buildup, it creates a backup, and it creates what we call a constipation. Okay, we have emotional constipation, psychological constipation, and we all know what it's like to be constipated, right? It just feels like something wants to come out of you, but it just can't, and it's getting stuck. So when you feel constipated, usually you start to have start to just feel heavy, right? When you're constipated, you just feel sluggish, you feel heavy, you don't really feel good, right? So we can be emotionally constipated, we can be psychologically constipated, energetically constipated. And that's just simply we're holding on to dead energy, just like when you're constipated with your food. It's just simply your body wants to detoxify what it doesn't need, okay? And a lot of our food, we don't need it, and our body wants to kind of eliminate, okay, go through that apana energy, that apana, which is about these lower chakra, about the legs, and when you're doing your squats, is about that apana life force. Okay, when you're walking, that apana life force, which is very much about grounding, is about gravity. When you think of constipation and you think of that elimination process, what is going on is it's traveling through your intestines, and the gravity is pushing it out. Okay, like when you go to the bathroom, right? Okay, this is not like middle school sort of stuff, right? So the gravity is that prana is like, okay, I gotta eliminate. Okay, the what I don't need, the body knows what it doesn't need, and it wants to pull it down, okay, through the intestines. It wants to kind of, like rinsing a towel, wants to rinse it clean. Okay, so we collect, even our brain, there's a lot of brain disease on this planet, if you are aware or not aware. Okay, such as dementia, we have all forms of what I can kind of consider almost like insanity, okay? It's really insane for us as humans to just harbor a bunch of dead energy in our brain. It's almost insane that we have that going on in our brain. Okay, just simply means that there's not enough oxygenated chi that's getting into the brain. Because when your brain has a good amount of oxygen, you're not going to harbor as much dead cells because you're moving it out. That's what oxygenated chi it does for the system. Is it really just clears it out. So when we do nostril breathing, okay, when we breathe through the right nostril and then we switch to the left nostril, basically what we're doing is we're balancing out both hemispheres of the brain, and we're also cleansing both hemispheres of the brain. Okay, we're putting in some oxygenated chi, okay, to really kind of sweep out. Okay, we want to sweep out the dead energy, because when dead energy gets too much, disease does form in the brain, dementia, and all these kinds of, just this great, just brain disease that we have on this planet. So we're going to focus on that breath of fire, because the navel is very much about the Apana force. And the Apana force is what I call the extract, okay, eliminate and relinquish, okay, what your system doesn't need. Okay, and it's also, like, again, that furnace that can really burn through any thought forms as well that are holding you in a limited version of yourself. So we use that breath of fire a lot of times to really just up the system, because whenever you want to up level yourself, or just improve yourself, or better yourself, or take care of yourself, you have to have energy. You need energy, and that's the furnace. It gives us energy to be able to do that, because any sort of, you could say you want to improve yourself or better yourself, it does require like a pilgrimage. Okay, that's why we go on pilgrimage. That's why we meditate. Meditation is a pilgrimage. Yoga is a pilgrimage. Okay, going actually to India and maybe going on to some sort of pilgrimage. Okay, it's all about using that furnace, that energy, that Apana life, okay, and directing it towards, we can say, using that fire for spiritual detoxification. So even when we fast, we have a lot of energy, because when your digestive system, your metabolism isn't breaking down food, all of a sudden you have this immense reserve of energy that's now freely available. Okay, so when we eat, and a lot of us as Americans, we eat a lot, when we eat too much, what happens is, again, we become really like sluggish, particularly with meat, because our system doesn't really process meat as well. It takes us sometimes 7 days to really process meat. Okay, and that's kind of like the minimum, right? To really process it and to really get it through, extract it, eliminate, and relinquish the basically dead weight. We as humans, we don't want dead weight. Okay, we don't want psychological dead weight. We don't want emotional dead weight. We don't want energetic dead weight. But on this planet, we do have a wasteland. Okay, we have a psychological wasteland, emotional wasteland, an energetic wasteland, a sexual wasteland. Okay, and that wasteland, we can take it in. Okay, so it's not we want to fear, or we want to take the mindset of like, I'm too sensitive to all of the wasteland. Okay, we just simply need to get our system stronger. Okay, we need to get our gut stronger, and the gut strength has to do with the Apana energy, which has to do with your navel and your navel strength and how aligned your navel is. Okay, because when your navel is aligned, you're very much a tree. Okay, I see the trunk, the roots of the tree is the navel. So a tree cannot, as you see a young tree, usually a young tree doesn't have many branches. Now I've studied little baby trees again, and they don't have many branches, right? Maybe they have maybe 7 branches or something. So, and they have tiny roots. They have a little tiny trunk. So the point is, when we want to grow, okay, such as we don't just want 7 branches. We want the thick, big old, wide, expansive, radiant, omega, giant tree branches, right? But in order to have that, we have to have a really sturdy trunk, and we have to have really deep roots. Because if not, elements of time, elements of weather, elements of storm happens, and then what, we just kind of plop over. Okay, so the roots of the tree is really the strength of the entire tree. And the way that the roots of the tree has a very a metabolic strength in the way it can strip away pretty much a lot, right? Okay, now we know that the soil, think about the soil, the roots in the soil are kind of like, they're the same, right? They're kind of like a little team. Now we know soil has a difficult time processing such as plastic. Okay, plastic, the soil just can't really decompose it because it's not really natural, right? It's almost toxic to the soil. It just can't decompose it. It tries, but it just doesn't really, it's like a foreign thing. I don't really know what to do with this. I don't know how to strip it and really bring it back to nutrients, right? But if you kind of put in, let's say, skins of an orange, the soil definitely knows how to decompose it and knows how to bring it back to its basic nutrient state to fertilize the soil, right? So we all have that. But the thing is, as humans right now on this planet, we're basically trying to metabolize plastic in our gut. Okay, with all of these certain foods that we're taking in, right? So see your gut like soil. Okay, soil is fabulous. It can decompose pretty much anything, right? Even if it's like meat, okay, or like dead animals. Okay, it takes a time, but it usually it extracts, it eliminates, and relinquishes the dead weight, and it really transmutates that into nutrients, right? Okay, for the next generations to come. Okay, so think of like dead weight, okay, that you may be carrying. And with this fall equinox, we're just going to use that breath of fire in this practice to really just blaze through it, okay, just to blaze through it. Because again, when you're sweating is the most detoxifying thing. That's where we go to the sauna. Also, sweating through the breath of fire is the most detoxifying thing. And sweating is also it relieves heavy emotions. It relieves psychological sort of anxiety. Like when we're in cardiovascular activity, that's a recreational activity, is usually very liberating for your psychological state. So even if you're walking, okay, 15 minutes a day, that's actually extremely healing for your psychological state, right? For basically your mind. So whenever we are creating that physiological connection, okay, mind and the body, talk about the prana energy, when we're cultivating that prana energy, okay, when we're walking or when we're surfing or when we're doing a recreational activity, we're creating that physiological mind-body connection. So what happens is we're a lot more able to eliminate the junk thoughts. So even if you just go surfing, like, do you think a lot? When I'm surfing, I don't really think. I'm just like, oh yes, I'm just doing my thing. I'm just totally in my body. And my mind is concentrated, my mind is grounded, my mind is blank, my mind is creative, my mind is thinking of ways to better and improve my movement. Okay? Same thing as when we do yoga. It's all about physiology, that mind connected with that body. When we do dance class, again, we do surfing, walking 15 minutes a day. When it comes to even recreational activities, okay? So again, when we really bring in that fire, okay, that prana energy, that navel energy, just like when we're surfing or when we're dancing, everything is about the navel balance. You can dance so much better, say, when your navel's aligned, which has to do with your core, right? We focus a lot on that core, but this has to do with a deeper core. The navel is a deeper core than just I have the 6 abs. But then when I try to do the nervous system strength, I'm shot. My nervous system can't do that. Okay? So having the core, the abs, think about it as having that level of strength to as a dancer, to hold your leg up for a minute or something like that, or to hold your position on a surfboard. But when we talk about the nervous system, which has to do with a deeper sort of strength, okay, a deeper sort of bond you have with yourself, that very much has to do with your ability to metabolize emotions, energetic stuff, psychological stuff. Okay, it has to do with the metabolism of dead weight or dead energy that's just kind of, that we just naturally collect, right? Okay, so that we don't get accumulative in our thinking, in our feeling. We get more so about we let it out so that we can let it in. Chi. So chi is a process. Chi is more about like circulation. Chi is circulation. Okay, and the more circulation you have in your body, that's what Kundalini is. Kundalini yoga, dance, it's all about circulation. The more energy that you can actually cultivate, and the more energy you have, the more options you have in the way that you can express yourself, the way that you can be creative, the way that you can basically move through life. So if your energy's low, you don't have many options in the way you can move through life. You're very bound, right? You're bound to your flesh. But when you have a lot of circulation of energy, you have a lot of doors available, you have a lot of options in the way that you can express yourself, you can be creative, and you can be very organized with your life energy, which is the overall greater sort of picture, is to be organized with our energy, where we know kind of like what's coming in, what's going out, okay, and what is important and what is draining. Because on this world, if you don't really have that sense of organization with your energy, you're more so just going to be drained by everything that's around you. So you have to have that level of whatever it is, a mantra you play, to really concentrate your energy on what we call, the mantra has to do with a higher vibrational usage of energy that's going to give you an effect that is a lot more prosperous. Okay, the effect of streaming the mantra through your energy has a lot more of a prosperous long-term effect than like streaming your energy through these sort of complaining and doubting and confusion and I'm not good enough sort of stuff. The latent effects to that is not as prosperous. So when we get organized with our energy, we start to think, what's going to give me the most prosperous latent effect? Okay, I'm talking about long term. And what doesn't give me as much prosperous long term effect? When we start to really sort of get into that, then we really have fire. Okay, and the people who have a fire about them tend to be the ones who really see it through. Okay, so they really see it through. Whatever that means to you. Let's cultivate that fire so we can see it through. Now, again, the furnace is about fire. It can burn through whatever it needs to burn through so that you're no longer constipated, sluggish, slow, and just dead weight in your own life. You feel like you're dead weight, and then there's depression that comes from that. All kinds of things come from that. So it is with that fire, we don't want it to be what we call unorganized fire. Okay, an unorganized fire can be compulsive, it can be irrational, it can be impulsive. That's the shadow of too much fire. We want to use that fire for a conscious intention. So when you're using that fire for intention, for you could say intention for prosperity, okay, something that's going to give you more sort of creative impact in your life, well then that fire is going to be a chariot. Okay, when a fire has intention, when it has vision, when it has concentration, it's a chariot. And we think of a chariot as regal horse, Okay, when you think of like the Buddha, the Bhagavad Gita with Krishna, we see on the chariot is about, I'm using my fire and I'm directing it towards a creative victory for myself, right? A fire that's out of control is usually just somebody who's destroying themselves with their own sort of fiery attitude, but usually it's victim. So fire is either victim, which is, I'm destroying myself with all of my victim sort of stuff. I'm dead weight. I feel victim to all of, my flesh. I'm victim to that. Or the other side is the warrior. So victim or warrior is the navel. So you can use your navel to just kind of sit and dwell, okay, in your own sort of like stagnancy. You can just allow your navel to just get dense and then that kind of thing. Or you can use it to be the warrior. And that's the chariot. Okay, so we're going to use the navel to be a chariot. And this is more of a meditative practice, so we're not going to be doing too much like movements or anything. It's more of a subtle, just a way to kind of connect with that part of ourselves, right? So we're going to tune in for this practice. Okay, we're going to tune in with Ang Namo Gurudev Namo. So Ang, O-N-G, Namo, Gurudev Namo. So rub your hands together at the chest. Really roll your shoulders back, open up your chest, tuck in that chin. Really feel tall, like the tallest, biggest, whitest tree. Really feel expansive in your presence. Imagine in your field that you have white, shimmering gold energy. Imagine your energetic field as a white, shimmering gold Merkaba. That you are 5-pointed star, 2 legs, 2 arms, 1 head, 5-pointed star. Really feel that in your closed eyes. Relax your face. Smile to yourself. Continue to rub the hands together. Bring in the balance between both hemispheres of the brain, between your creative, imaginative, feminine side and your rational, logical, masculine side. Bring them together in harmony, in collaboration, understanding. Okay, place them here in the sternum. Inhale, hold the breath, squeeze up Mula Bandha, sex organ, rectum, navel, belly button to spine, tuck in the chin, press the tongue on the upper palate. Focus on the crown chakra opening as though you're opening a lotus flower at the top of your head. A lotus flower is blooming. Really squeeze from the toe, all the way up to the crown head, while you're really opening up that chest, opening up the rib cage. Exhale, inhale. Now really press the hands together. Really unify the thoughts, unify yourself, bring yourself together as one whole being. Exhale, inhale. Now really focus on your energetic field. Repair, think repair, mentally recite repair as you're repairing any holes that you may have in your energetic ozone layer that protects you from the toxins, negativities, wasteland of this planet. Hold the breath, sip up more air if you need to. Really mentally recite repair, consciously focusing on your aura, your energetic field, like a sphere, a Merkaba around you. And you're healing, repairing the ozone layer of any holes that are leaking in toxic energy. Exhale. Inhale to chant. Chant to the north, to the south, to the east, to the west, to invite in the wholeness of your ancestral lineage, of your ancestral karma, dharma, vibrational mastery. Inhale. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Use the strength of the navel with the heart. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale. Squeeze all all the way up. Again, squeeze from the toe all the way to the crown of the head, and imagine that your spine is a stem, like a flower stem, and your arms and legs are leaves, and your perineum is the roots that are digging deep, deep, deep into the earth. And the top of your head is the blooming, flowering lotus flower. Exhale. Now we're going to use a protection mantra. You can listen, you can follow along. So we're going to focus to the right, then we're going to focus behind, to the left, and to in front. So we're kind of circling around ourselves with protection. I want you to visualize royal gas stove blue energy. That's the energy of the blue ether. Blue ether is about protection, transformation, transmutation of all dead weight. Okay, we're eliminating the dead weight that's creating a lot of attachments, ties, and limiting beliefs that are keeping us in situations, vibrational realities that are just not really going anywhere. Okay, so Adgadename, Jugadgadename, Satgadename, Siddhigadename. 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 Inhale. Exhale. Bring your hands down into Gyan Mudra. Take a moment to feel the energetic adjustment as you invited in a sacredness of protection, a sacredness of holiness, a sacredness of calling forth your prosperity, deciding a higher destiny, a higher incarnation for your making in this experience called Earth. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do a particular unique breath. So I'm going to wearing shorts that are sort of tight. So you're going to inhale, hold the breath, you're going to flex the spine until you can't hold the breath any longer, and then you exhale, come still, inhale through the nose, hold the breath and flex the spine as long as you can, and then we can't hold the breath anymore, exhale through the nose, be still, inhale again, and continue. Really focus on the tongue, on the upper palate. Stimulate the pineal gland, which then will stimulate the space between your eyebrows, allowing a penetration of what we call projection. Penetration of projection to come forth from you. So people who have very alluring eyes tend to have a very strong projection. They tend to have a very strong psychic ability. And this psychic ability is called magnetism. Okay, a lot of people in the Middle East have a lot of alluring, very intensifying eyes where you're like, whoa, it's very mystic eyes. Because a lot of the Middle Eastern, you could say, lineages had a strong psychic accord, a strong psychic sort of attunement, we can say. So that's why a lot of these Middle Easterns, their eyes are big and really, whoa, it's really almost kind of scary, so tense, right? It's they're penetrating me with their whole psychic strength is because the lineage have such a strong spiritual sort of current of high vibrational mantra that they've run through multiple lineages. So it's very strong in them. So think of that when you're pressing the tongue on the upper palate, you're stimulating that third eye, and you're allowing that space between your eyebrows to get really like this, like it gets really intense. Like people who have really intense eyes, it's like they're looking at me like this. And I can just see that penetration like hitting my frontal lobe. That's a really strong vision projection, a really strong sort of psychic cut through. Like they can just cut through any sort of, you know, any dead energy. So you can exhale out of your mouth because the nose is just, there's so much energy. And when you exhale, really think of like letting go, letting it out. Keep going. Inhale. Squeeze up from the toe all the way to the top of the head. Squeeze out Mula Bandha. Tuck in the chin. Press the tongue on the upper palate. Exhale. Now we're going to come into a cat-cow. Okay, so if you can, really go as fast as you can, okay? So arching the spine, you can see my spine. Really opening up the throat, the chest. Make sure that your shoulders are directly over your wrists, your hands. Make sure you see that 30-degree The 90 degree when it comes to the floor, coming up the thigh. 90 degree with the wrist in contact with the floor. My ad always goes off. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now let your breath be very deep and flex very deeply. Really focus on that pelvic area, like coming that pelvic out and coming tucked in, out, tucked in, that pelvic area. Inhale. Exhale. Stay in this position. It's really good for helping you release the psychological weight, the subconscious weight. Flip the wrist. This is going to open up the collarbone. Then it's going to help you open up your chest. Okay. Look up if you can. It's good for the healing of the eyes. Long, deep breathing through the nose. So it should look like this. Press the tongue on the upper palate. Really stretch that thyroid. You see that thyroid? Allow it to glow, allow it to heal naturally, allow it to repair. Allow your collarbones to align through the stretching of the wrists. Inhale. Exhale. From the back. Tuck in the chin. Really allow whatever's on your upper back to just roll off. Allow your head, your neck to just fall forward. Whatever you're carrying on your upper back, allow it to just roll off you now. Really bring that pelvic area forward. Okay, inhale. Exhale. Okay, release. So now we're going to come into a froggy. So, a unique froggy, like this. See, my hair is like, whoa, my hair looks so good. So we're on the toes, the balls of the feet, our heels together, our legs are like butterfly wings. Inhale, touch the heart with your left hand, tuck in that chin. Exhale, really stretch the throats. Come up, right hand, touch the heart. Exhale, and keep going. And you're on the ball of the feet the whole time. The heels don't come down to the floor. And try to really fold over the legs like you are a fold. When you really fold over, it also works on the life nerve, which has to do with the stretching of the back of the leg from the thigh all the way down to the ankle. Inhale, fold over. Inhale, exhale, deep, flip the wrists. Remain on the balls of the feet with the heels touching. Breathe long and deep. Inhale. Exhale. Come deeper forward. Inhale. Come down. Okay. Whew. So, the next thing we're gonna do, trying to put my hat on now, is we're gonna come on our back. Okay, so now there's some control over my hair. So I'm gonna grab the right leg like this. going to bring the left leg crossed over, grab the ankle. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale down. Switch. So it's like you pull that leg towards you, so really opening up that hip area. Inhale, bring both legs together, grab the ankles, bring the head up, point the toes, long deep breathing, try to bring the head to the knees. If it hurts your neck, just recognize you're healing and empowering your thyroid gland, thyroid, parathyroid. Inhale, exhale. Now bring into the knees. Breath of fire. Pump the navel if you're not pregnant or on your menstrual cycle, no breath of fire. But everyone else, breath of fire, pumping the navel. Inhale, exhale, squeeze in tighter in the held out breath. Inhale, exhale, relax. Take a moment, feel the adjustment. You'll feel something in your navel for sure. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do. Okay, so we're gonna have our hands back like this. Call it a sort of focusing on the hip. So kind of like crossing the legs like this. Kind of let it hang loose, not tight. And then kind of bring it. Okay, let's kind of hard to do in this space. So inhale. So inhale, so cross, kick up, bring it out to the side, exhale. So we're not coming all the way to the side, just at like a 40-degree angle. And really keep your chest wide. Don't let your like chest collapse. Really keep your chest like open. And really point the toe so your leg is like elongated. You're gonna feel this in your hip. These are subtle alignments that we're doing to the hip. Because when the hip is better aligned, we can actually have a better balanced fire. Fire is good. Fire gets things done. But fire out of control is fire that can destroy very quickly oneself. So fire is the first to be creative, but fire can also be the first to destroy. Fire is explosive with creativity, but fire can also be explosion of destructive energy. So again, breathe deep. So again, just really stretching. A couple more. Okay, hold it out here, flex the foot, bring it forward and back, or side to side like this. Try to keep the other leg still if you can. Flex, flex, flex. Keep that chest open. About a foot off the ground. Inhale, exhale, drop it. Now pull it. Pull your leg with the flexed foot, like almost like somebody's pulling your leg. They're pulling that leg, like allow that leg to pull forward. And bring this leg closer to you, like that leg is literally somebody's pulling it from the ankle. Long, deep breathing. Someone's pull. Keep that foot so flexed that your heel is not touching the floor. That's how flexed your foot should be. Again, someone's pulling it. Okay, inhale. Exhale. Relax. Now switch. Other side. Kind of don't want to do like a crotch shot in my tiny shorts. So I'm going to try to not let you guys see the... Okay. Okay, so long deep breath. So again, it's not all the way out, okay? It's like a 40 from this knee to the other knee. So you see I have 40. So if I go too far out, it's getting to 60, okay? Again, we're doing an adjustment to the hip. And then the adjustment also, when you adjust the hips, you're also adjusting the pelvic area. The pelvis loves to be adjusted constantly, daily. Because the pelvis area is the one thing that easily gets misaligned. Easy. Especially when we have a lot of stress, our pelvic area. When it's deeply disjointed, what happens is, again, we can have a lot of emotional sort of pains and aches and just frustrations. It's very frustrating when the pelvic is misaligned. So really point that toe to elongate the foot, okay, because you're trying to elongate this lower body, right? And really open that chest. Don't let your foot come all the way down. Your foot kind of hovers like a foot off the ground. And really try to kick that foot as high as you can. Again, by keeping that leg high, you're also working on the strength of the navel, okay? Your nervous system. You're strengthening your nervous system by keeping your leg high and keeping your leg hovering a foot off the ground. You're working on the navel, the strength, the nerves that can handle it. So the Rockettes, they're very talented with their legs because they have a very strong nervous system. Rockettes who can kick their legs up in the air, okay, like they do, it's because they have a very strong nervous system. They have a very strong sciatic nerve, life nerve. And how we really work on the nervous system a lot of times is through the legs and through like the kicking, okay, swinging the legs up and down like the Rockettes do, right? We have a strong legs like the Rockettes do. We have a strong navel. When we have a strong navel, we're invincible. We can metabolize a rock. Couple more. And when you feel like your leg's shaking, which it will, depending on your nervous system strength, if you've broken the glass ceiling, you're going to shake a lot. Just breathe. Breathe through the spasm. See spasm not as a negative sign. See it as a positive sign that you're breaking through a limitation in your capacity to move your body. Inhale, flex the foot. Hover foot off the ground. Focus on that 40 degree. Bring this leg even closer. Side to side. Long, deep breathing. Side to side. Really flex that foot to where the heel is like really like a moon. Your heel is like a moon and it's like, hello everyone. Foot off the ground. If your leg shakes, if you feel spasms in your legs, breathe deeper into that spasm to release the limitation in your body's ability to be strong and vigorous. It's also working on that hip area, strengthening. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Bring that leg down again now. Feel like somebody's pulling. Like somebody's pulling. Really feel it. You're feeling it all the way up. Really flex that heel to the point where your heel is off the floor. That's how much you're flexing. So as though your calf is the one that's really holding your foot down on the ground. Somebody's pulling your leg. Long deep breathe. Okay, inhale. Exhale. Woo. Okay, so kind of the next thing we're gonna do. Just like I don't have the room to do this right. Okay, so next thing I'm trying to keep my hat on, but it doesn't look like it's gonna stay on because my hair. Okay, I love my hat. Okay, so next thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna have this leg. Okay, like this. Okay, kind of like the heel is going into this area like this, and you're pressing onto the thigh like this, kind of like a tree pose if you were standing, right? What you're going to do now is you're going to lift the leg. You're going to bring the leg over. You're going to bring the leg out, back around, and then down. So Okay, so, oh my god, my hair is like so coarse right now. Okay, so again, this is really close. It's like right there in the pocket. Okay, this leg, like tree pose, as close as you can. Okay, gonna grab it. Inhale, point the toe, open the chest, bring it over like this. Grab it with the other arm, kind of like the inside of your ankle. Stretch it out to this angle, cross. Exhale. Bring it down. And then kind of like adjust, like bring yourself forward through like grabbing the ankle. Again, we're kind of like working on that rocket sort of mobility and that the lower, the hips, the pelvic. This is a way we're adjusting the navel. I'm gonna do 3 more. Really keep that chest wide. Like, don't be doing Frumpty Dumpty kind of like let me grab it with my, really like see yourself as a rocket where there's a string from the top of your head pulling you up and something's pulling you up. You're not going like this. Okay, up. So you come forward, position yourself. Okay. Take a moment in this position. Now turn over to the side. Come forward. Turn to the side where your chest your heart falls forward. But do not let your head collapse. Like, open your thyroid as though your thyroid, usually in traditional we go like this. I want you to go like this, okay? Where your thyroid is almost like your chin is wanting to touch your knee. So now we're working on the thyroid. Kind of just like, you can close your eyes or you can like kind of look at your toes. Keep your hands out. You can even be on your fingertips to keep gives you even longer presence. And it should feel like your belly is like right over your thigh, okay? So you're turning yourself, twisting your body to where your whole chest is in alignment with this leg. So your heart, your belly is almost like your navel is almost directly over your hip or your thigh. Really like stretch, just something like is pulling your chest forward, like the light of your heart is pulling you forward. So you're not doing this, okay? This is not it. You're allowing your heart, like your heart has so much radiance that it can't contain itself. It's being pulled out of you, like it's being pulled out of you. And then therefore that really lifts you off, okay, your belly, so you're not like collapsing your belly. It really lifts your belly. It also lifts your hips. It lifts your pelvic area, giving you a deeper sort of pelvic alignment. So we're not coming all the way down, okay? You can see me. So my body's positioned at like a 60-degree angle, okay? You see, you see that, or it's more. We're getting even deeper, like a 40-degree angle. Okay, inhale. Exhale. Come up, kind of readjust yourself, center. Okay, so you can feel that in yourself. You can feel it in your heart opening, you can feel it in the pelvic area, you can feel it in the thyroid. Okay, so now we're going to go to the other leg. You can feel it even in the leg. Okay, so try to bring it in like a tree pose, where you're trying to bring it in as close as you can to the hip. Okay, so it's like the heel is almost is in alignment with the hip. So exhale. So inhale, begin. Ooh. Again, you heard those little cracks, right? You're gonna hear little things. Okay. You can also, you hold on to this leg when you try to grab the other leg to help you stay up. So you're not like hunching over to grab it, right? Rockets never hunch over, right? They always, the leg comes up to them. They don't go to the leg. So let your leg come up to you. So deep breath. You're not going to do it. You're not going to be able to do it if your breath is shallow. You're going to be hunching over. If you can't breathe, you're going to hunch over because your body's going to try to get some reserve energy to do it. So fill your tank up. Oxygen fills your tank up. So when you're too exhausted, what happens is your body starts to do all kinds of wanky things just to keep itself together. And usually those wanky things are usually not good form, right? So you want to really bring your navel like forward to your heart forward when you come like this, right? So really bring that pelvic area forward, okay? Feel it. Your butt's not lifting off the ground, but you feel yourself coming forward. One, two, three more. One more. Okay, inhale. Grab that foot, bring yourself forward. Open up the heart now. Exhale. Tuck in the chin, press the tongue on the upper palate. Squeeze shoulder blades together, the arms back. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale through the top of your head. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of bring our navel over our thigh. We're going to open up the thyroid like this, see? And keeping this heel very, and almost like in alignment with the hip. Okay, you see that crossover. And be on the balls of the hands, okay? So it keeps you more spacious and keeps you more elongated rather than collapsing. And really create that twist, open that thyroid, come down to that 40-degree. Close your eyes and just receive the posture in your hip, your pelvic area. Point your toe to really elongate the leg. And really feel the navel adjustment. So really twist so your navel's like right on top of the thigh. Okay, so really create that twist. Open the throat, let the throat sing out. And really press the heel of the right leg that's closest, you see that, to the groin. Really press it into the thigh. So it really works on this whole back area. This whole kidney area is opening, this whole hip area, and this leg is opening. The whole back is stretching, the lower back is getting massaged. This leg is being worked out, the life nerve is being worked out. The thyroid's being worked out. Okay, inhale. Exhale. Okay, come up. Come seated cross-leg. And just feel the adjustment. I like to sit on a pillow. So do you feel any sort of adjustment? You definitely can feel adjustment in your spine. So that one, the forward is working on the spine, but also working on the hips, okay? So now that was kind of the exercise. We're gonna come seated on in rock pose, so seated on our knees. So this really like helps with the thighs, okay? And the mineral balance in the thighs. You can even have a pillow between your heels and your butt to really feel comfortable. If you feel like tension in the knees, just breathe deeply, okay? Because this is really good at really moving the chi in the thighs, okay? Mineral chi is about, thigh, okay? Your thighs have a lot of minerals. And minerals can get very clumpy and very dense, as we know. So this posture helps us to really create circulation in the thighs, okay? Muscle in the thighs can get bulky. And when it's too bulky, what happens, it gets too tight and the circulation can't move through. So we want strength in the thighs, but we also need it to be, we need oxygen in the thighs as well. So muscles with no oxygen, it gets just too tight. Muscle with oxygen, muscle can be used, okay, just like a marathon runner, in a very efficient and a very flexible, agile way, rather than like a bulky kind of sort of, stalky, is that a word? Stalky way, okay? So long, deep breathing. Place your hands on the navel, and so I have right over left over right, the thumbs crossing over, called Venus lock. Just here at the navel, and just feel the posture. Just feel the navel aligning on its own. So the one thing I love to do is Sat Kriya, and we're going to do the advanced Sat Kriya, where we're going to be in camel posture. So just relax while you can. This particular Sat Kriya is really good for just balancing the navel really quickly. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is follow me. Hada, 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 hada. So I'm pumping the navel, which each hada, 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 pumping the navel if I'm not pregnant or in my first, second, or third day of my period. And I'm also going to bounce the tongue off the upper palate, so the tongue should be like this. Hada, 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 hada. Okay, flicking off, up and down. Hada, 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 Squeeze up. Mula bandha, sex organ, rectum, navel, belly, button, spine. Tuck in the chin, press the tongue in the upper palate. Focus on the crown chakra. Focus on the aura, the electromagnetic field of the heart, the electromagnetic field, the navel, and the Merkaba, your auric field. Exhale. Now we're getting into some good stuff. So we're going to Camel. We're going to do Sat Kriya. So Sat. We're going to do Sut. Okay, Sut. You really squeeze up the energy. Okay, Sut. You really feel the navel. So Sut. The navel kind of comes towards the spine. Okay, Sut. Pull it all the way up to that heart. And Nam Sut. Nam Sut. Nam. So it's like Sut. Squeeze it up. Nam is kind of like you're using that vibration Nam to really open the heart chambers. Okay, we have deeper heart chambers of intimacy, and that's where we feel we connect with our divinity, our deeper creativity that's visionary and that's very intuitive and that's very psychic, we can say. So camel posture, you can go like this, okay, if you can't come all the way back, or you can come on your toes and grab your ankles like this. Or you want to go all the way into the advanced posture, okay? And the belly button should be moving. So Sut, Nam, Sut, Nam, Sut, Nam, Sut, Nam. You see that? That's how vigorous and powerful it should be. Sut, Nam, 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 Sut, Nam. Inhale. Exhale. Come into seated rock pose. Feel the adjustment. Definitely will feel things moving around. Place your hands here at the navel and Venus lock. I'm going to do it one more time, so just really relax and allow things to move around. Press the tongue in the upper palate, really focus on your projection, the space between your eyebrows, focus on projection. From your eyes, from your eye pupils, focus on that your eyes have projection. Project your vision, cut through the nonsense of this planet Earth, cut through the nonsense, get to the real good stuff, the prosperity, and have an energetic field that's able to defend itself, so you don't have to defend yourself. Your aura defends itself for you. Long deep breathing through the nose. It should feel like an ocean wave moving all the way up from the navel, the perineum, all the way up to the head. And then exhale like the ocean all the way down, the crown of the head all the way down to the perineum. An ocean wave. Okay, I'm going to go back into camel pose. Doing it again. But it's really good. Not as long. Sit. Nam. 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 Inhale. Exhale. Come up. So you should really focus more, not so much on the back bending. Focus more so on the thyroid opening. Focus more on the pelvic area that's moving forward, not the back bending. The focus on the pelvic area, this whole area opening. So now come seat into child's pose. So put that energy now into a deep trance, a deep sleep. Inhale, exhale. Now open your legs like this, so wide. Come onto your elbows. Place your chin into your hands like this. And really focus on the hands wrapping around the jawline, not the cheeks, but the jawline. And really focus on that chin kind of coming into a solid place between your hands. Really focus on the opening of the thyroid, and you're really sticking that butt out. You're allowing your pelvic area to kind of fall. So we're moving forward and back, forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. This is just a really good posture. Again, we're doing thyroid. You can feel the hips, the thighs, pelvic, the navel. So now we're just really allowing the navel to just kind of anchor itself. Now come around, but this time you're not using your hips to come around. You're using like your navel. So visualize your navel, which is below your belly button. And visualize you're rotating your navel. You're rotating your navel around.
So I'm not using my shoulders, I'm not using my hips, I'm using my navel. So now I'm working on massaging my navel through turning. So I'm turning the wheel of my navel, turning the energy. Just close your eyes and just relax. And then you can turn the opposite direction. So this is also really soothing for the hips and opening up the pelvic area. Okay, inhale, come forward. Now go side to side, but this time now you're moving the hips. So you're not moving side to side the navel, now you're focusing on the hips going side to side. Long deep breathing through the nose. So you're opening up some of your sexual creative energy in the lower body. This is a really good posture to open up the sexual energy, to open up the deeper parts of you, which is your cervix. If you're a woman, your heart and your throat. So we're opening up the throat. We're definitely opening up the heart through the pressing that heart down. We're also opening up the cervix in this posture, which is good for orgasmic sex, right? That's not just, you know, your clitoris or something like that just being stimulated, but orgasmic cervix, orgasmic heart, orgasmic throat, okay? Not just your clitoris being stimulated to a point where, you know, it has like a, you know, feeling of release, okay? Okay, inhale, exhale. Okay, come back up. Ooh. Come seated on your heels. Again, take the adjustment, feel it. Definitely moving energy around. Now what you're going to do is you're going to place your hands behind your neck, and you're going to pull your skull up. You're going to pull your neck up. This is like one of the final postures we're going to do. So now we're going to pull up. Long deep breathing through the nose, and you're going to mentally recite Satanama, Satanama, with the inhale and the exhale, like an ocean tide. So when you inhale, Satanama, when you exhale, Satanama, really tuck in that chin and squeeze that energy up. Press the tongue on the upper palate to really focus on the Sushumna channel. So the tongue has a lot to do with that Sushumna channel, okay, that central channel, that psyche, okay. Our psyche is our character, and our psyche has to do with our Sushumna channel. So psyche is character. I can see into your psyche, I know your character. A character is based on nervous system strength and how well you've worked and developed your nervous system strength. So weak character tends to have a very easily sort of seduced psyche. Okay, their psyche is constantly seduced by all these sort of, things on planet Earth. But a strong psyche is a person who has a strong self-concept that they created from the will of their sovereignty. Okay? So the type of the tongue kind of represents the psyche. Okay? So connecting the psyche upward. Really focus on pulling up the navel. Focusing on the inhale with the Satanama, exhale with the Satanama. So really open your heart. So open the heart, the deeper heart of you. Through opening up the armpits, opening up the arms, really feel that heart opening. Feel the heart rising up. So when we lift our arms up, we're lifting our heart up. So we're lifting our heart higher to the cosmos. We're lifting our heart up. We're lifting our emotions up. So if your emotions have been really heavy, kind of, your heart's in your gut sort of thing, we're lifting our heart up. We're raising our heart up. Raising our heart to be the dignity of our total life. We're using the stamina, persistence, resilience of the heart to help us find our vibrational identity, which is a challenge, right? Amongst all these vibrations that are seducing us to be, entangle ourselves with these limiting beliefs. We don't know what is my true identity, my vibrational identity that isn't bound to the earth, but is collaborating with the earth temporarily. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, come seated. So that posture really relaxes. Okay, brings you. Okay, so now seated. Getting into our sort of meditation. Take a moment to feel all the energy kind of moving around. So we're going to use this prosperity mantra. Where our hands kind of down like this. And kind of like we're taking in. So our hands are together. See that? It's kind of like we're taking in energy from the earth, and we're kind of taking it upward. So you see the fingertips. So it's not flat like this. Okay, this is, I'm giving my energy. This is more of, I'm cupping up energy from Mother Gaia, bringing it into me. Hara hara gobinde, hara hara mukande, hara hara udare, hara hara pare, hara hara hariyang, hara hara kariyang, hara hara niname, hara hara kame, hara hara gobinde, hara hara mukande, hara hara udare, hara hara pare, hara hara hariyang, hara hara kariyang, hara hara niname, hara hara kame, hara hara gobinde, Hara Hara Mukande, Hara Hara Urare, Hara Hara Pare, Hara Hara Hariyang, Hara Hara Kariyang, Hara Hara Niname, Hara Hara Kame, Hara Hara Gobinde, Hara Hara Mukande, Hara Hara Urare, Hara Hara Pare, Hara Hara Hariyang, Hara Hara Kariyang, Hara Hara Niname, Hara Hara Kame, Hara Hara Gobinde, Hara Hara Mukande, Hara Hara Urare, Hara Hara Pare, Hara Hara Hariyang, Hara Hara Kariyang, Hara Hara Niname, Hara Hara Kame, Hara Hara Gobinde, Hara Hara Mukande, Hara Hara Urare, Hara Hara Pare, Hara Hara Hariyang, Hara Hara Kariyang, Hara Hara Niname, Hara Hara Kame, Hara Hara Gobinde, Hara Hara Mukande, Hara Hara Urare, Hara Hara Pare, Hara Hara Hariyang, Hara Hara Kariyang, Hara Hara Niname, Hara Hara Kame, Hara Hara Gobinde, Hara Hara Mukande, Hara Hara Urare, Hara Hara Pare, Hara Hara Hariyang, Hara Hara Kariyang, Hara Hara Niname, Hara Hara Kame, Hara Hara Gobinde, Hara Hara Mukande, Hara Hara Urare, Hara Hara Pare, Hara Hara Hariyang, Hara Hara Kariyang, Hara Hara Niname, Hara Hara Kame, Hara Hara Gobinde, Hara Hara Mukande, Hara Hara Urare, Hara Hara Pare, Hara Hara Hariyang, Hara Hara Kariyang, Hara Hara Niname, Hara Hara Kame, Hara Hara Gobinde, Hara Hara Mukande, Hara Hara Urare, Hara Hara Pare, Hara Hara Hariyang, Hara Hara Kariyang, Hara Hara Niname, Hara Hara Kame, Hara Hara Gobinde, Hara Hara Mukande, Hara Hara Urare, Hara Hara Pare, Hara Hara Hariyang, Hara Hara Kariyang, Hara Hara Niname, Hara Hara Kame, Hara Hara Gobinde, Hara Hara Mukande, Hara Hara Urare, Hara Hara Pare, Hara Hara Hariyang, Hara Hara Kariyang, Hara Hara Niname, Hara Hara Kame, Hara Hara Gobinde, Hara Hara Mukande, Hara Hara Urare, Hara Hara Pare, Hara Hara Hariyang, Hara Hara Kariyang, Hara Hara Niname, Hara Hara Kame, Hara Hara Gobinde, Hara Hara Mukande, Hara Hara Urare, Hara Hara Pare, Hara Hara Hariyang, Hara Hara Kariyang, Hara Hara Niname, Hara Hara Kame, Hara Hara Gobinde, Hara hara mukande, hara hara urare, hara hara pare, hara hara hariyang, hara hara kariyang, hara hara niname, hara hara kame, hara hara govinde, hara hara mukande, hara hara urare, hara hara pare, hara hara hariyang, hara hara kariyang, hara hara niname, hara hara kame, hara hara govinde, hara hara mukande, hara hara urare, hara hara pare, hara hara hariyang, hara hara kariyang, hara hara niname, hara hara kame, hara hara govinde, hara hara mukande, hara hara urare, hara hara pare, hara hara hariyang, hara hara kariyang, hara hara niname, hara hara kame, hara hara govinde, hara hara govinde, hara hara mukande, hara hara urare, hara hara pare, hara hara hariyang, hara hara kariyang, hara hara niname, hara hara kame, hara hara govinde, hara hara mukande, hara hara urare, hara hara pare, hara hara hariyang, hara hara kariyang, hara hara niname, hara hara kame, hara hara govinde, hara hara mukande, hara hara urare, hara hara pare, hara hara hariyang, hara hara kariyang, hara hara niname, hara hara kame. Inhale. Go still. Allow the mantra to be everywhere around you. Go drop in, so still, quiet. Sweep the hands back. Press the tongue on the upper palate. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Squeeze from the tip, the toe all the way to the top of the head. Squeeze belly button, spine, tuck in the chin. Hear the mantra rinsing you clean of your poverty consciousness now. Exhale, inhale. Make a choice to rinse yourself clean of poverty consciousness in you. Let it fall off you now. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bring the hands on the top of the head, right over left, like Venus lock, okay, where the thumbs are crossing on top of the head. Now open up your sight. Open up your visionary sight. Become extremely intuitive, psychic, aware of yourself, aware of the dimensions of yourself, incarnations of yourself. Open up the Akashic record. Open up the Akashic record within the space between your eyebrows. View the Akashic record, a library, a giant library like a ballroom, full of tall bookcases. View it on your chin. Close your eyes and look at the chin. View your past lives. View your Akashic record, the knowledge of you, the experiences of you. View into it. View into the chin. The eyes closed and see into the Akashic record. Allow yourself to receive what you need to receive and nothing more. Focus on what is going to help you now, what you need to receive now, and see it on your chin like a projection screen, and the knowledge you need is being projected onto the screen. A version of yourself, a talent, a gift, a personality. See it and bring it into you. Bring it into you, this projection of your talent, creativity, divinity, intuition. Bring it into you. Bring it into you. See it in your Akashic record and call it in to this embodiment, this physical realm you are now. Go deep into the chin, like you're going deep into a flower, like you're studying the flower. There's a flower and you're looking into the flower, directly into the heart of the flower, studying the many petals of the flower, the many chambers, the many rooms, the many facets, the many faculties of the flower that is your chin. Seeing into the multi-dimensional essence you are. Now call it in now. The experience, the knowledge, the memory, the download, the transmission, the vision, the creativity, the talent, the gift. Call in a gift that you have earned, that you have developed in many lifetimes. Call in a new gift, a gift. Call it in, a knowledge that you have gained from many, many incarnations. Call in a gift that can serve you in this moment now, a strength. Inhale. Exhale. Now open the hands to the side like this. So my hands are kind of like this, but to the sides, kind of across from my ears. I can almost see them in my peripheral vision. I'm going to look at the tip of the nose, and we're going to recite the protection mantra, and you're going to visualize that you have a spinning blue, gas stove blue sphere, that you're inside of a sphere that's spinning, okay, spinning very fast, like our planet, spinning, okay, and that protection of the light, the faster it spins, the more protection you have. So the faster this auric field spins around you in this gas stove blue, which is about protection, transformation, transmutation, the more energy you can cultivate. So blue, think of blue, gas stove blue, as the pranic blue. In the Bhagavad Gita, we talk about the blue being. So the blue being of Krishna has to do with a pranic breath, a very powerful pranic breath. A breath, a deep inhale, a powerful exhale that's able to triumph over any disease, any karma, any slander, anything that's thrown out their way. The strongest metabolic essence, we can say, is the blue energy. Okay, it's called the blue being. Okay, or the blue ether. Okay, meaning you can transmutate anything. And you can turn it into wisdom, okay? You could turn it into wisdom, the roughest, toughest sort of energy that we have on this planet. Rough, tough, harsh, really rigid, like a rock. You have the ability to transmutate it. So this is the last thing we're doing, so really go for it. Spin your energy. So we're spinning it clockwise, okay? But then you have an inner sphere, spin it counterclockwise. So this is very complex. Not so much, but an outer aura spinning, okay, your outer aura, which is 10 feet across, is spinning clockwise as we do the protection mantra, and then an inner sphere, okay, inner sphere about 4 inches away from you, like your heart electromagnetic field. Your heart electromagnetic field has its own spin, and that spin it counterclockwise. So 10 feet across, the outer ring, clockwise, your auric field, and then your heart electromagnetic field, which is about like 4 feet, okay, spin that counterclockwise. Okay, so here we go. Eyes on the tip of the nose, kind of seeing your hands, your peripheral vision, create immense protection, like a blue being intelligence, okay? Adhikadename, Jagadaganame, Satkadaname, Siddhikadevaname. Adhikadename, Jagadaganame, Satkadaname, Siddhikadevaname. Fast. Adhikadename, Jagadaganame, Satkadaname, Siddhikadevaname. 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 Now place it behind you. Protect what's behind you, which you cannot see. Visualize you have eyes in the back of your head, and you can see even your enemy who is far away coming towards you. Adhikadename, Jagadaganame, Satkadaname, Siddhikadevaname. 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 Now place the hands on the forehead. Protect your psychic eye. Adhikadename, Jagadaganame, Satkadaname, Siddhikadevaname. 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 Inhale, lift the hands up. Open the chest, go back like this, okay? Now chant a call and let all that stuff just lift up, like your white dove lifting up. Akal, 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 akal. Akal, 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 akal. Inhale. Squeeze up, mula bandha, sex organ, rectum, navel, belly bandha, spine. Tuck in the chin, press the tongue on the upper palate. You're going back, your hands are open. Opening up the heart, the chest so wide, armpits, navel. Exhale. sweep it down like this. So sweep through the front of the aura. Feel the chi. You'll feel your energetic field. Bring it down to the ground. There you go. Take a moment to feel your energy. You'll feel an energetic spin in your aura. Okay, you'll feel energetic electromagnetic field, like the northern lights to both hemispheres. Is the electromagnetic field of the earth apparent? Okay, but the electromagnetic field of the earth is like that everywhere. It's just we can't see it. Let's say, if you live in North Carolina, you can't see no northern lights. Okay, but the electromagnetic of the field has a stronger current at the north and south poles. Okay, that's why it's apparent, because it's very strong. Okay, it's very, very strong. Because that's where the spin is. The orbit, the spin is the core, the spin, what moves it is the north and south poles. So where there's movement, where there's the spin, what spins it is where there's a strong electromagnetic field. So your heart is like the north and south poles. Your navel is like the north and south poles. Your navel, your heart is actually what spins your electromagnetic field, which is your aura, which is you are a planet. Okay, you are a planet. You have life, you have water, you have sunlight, heat. Okay, you have earth, you have flesh. Okay, you have air, you have circulation, breath. Okay, you have ethers, which is your intuition, your vision, psychic ability, consciousness. So you are a planet, very fruitful planet. So with a planet, there's electromagnetic field, and what spins it, okay, the spinning of the planet, the spinning keeps everything moving and keeps it from being stark, bleak, and barren, is the navel and the heart. The electromagnetic field of the heart spins it clockwise, counterclockwise. The navel tends to spin it clockwise. Okay, so just kind of think of that. So clockwise we have to do with time, counterclockwise we have to do about revolving around the heart. Okay, so clockwise is kind of like you're coming, counterclockwise is you're coming into your heart. Clockwise is you're going out into the world. So the navel is I'm spinning my aura out into the world. Counterclockwise is the heart has to do with I'm spinning into myself. I'm going deep into myself. So clockwise, time, out in life. I'm out in the world. My aura is in the world. And then heart, electromagnetic field, the spin counterclockwise has to do with I'm spinning into myself. I'm spinning into my soul. I'm spinning into my wisdom. I'm spinning into my Sachic record, which is my heart, my home. Okay, so thank you for joining me on this wonderful pilgrimage.